welcome to the show. Welcome to everybody. Now, we're going to do for you two things using choux pastry. One is a dessert, which is a cream nut ring filled with cream and almonds, which is delicious. The other one is a pastry case filled with the most delicious chicken salad.
And our guest today is a most extremely talented lady, Thelma Barlow. Stop.
I always feel as though I want to go round for the ride.
Did you have a look at did you have a look at the black handkerchief in your evening jacket?
No, why?
Mine's a sock.
So was mine. Well, that did it. Anyway,
or an umbrella cover, one of the two, I'm not quite sure.
A wind sock from an airport. What we're going to do for you is choux pastry, as I said. It's really very simple. If you master it, it's really useful to have because you can either make tiny little, puff ball things filled with cream or savoury things, or you can make chocolate eclairs. But we're going to do it in two different ways. Now, what I did was start off here, and I should have put that up to heat, shouldn't I, Dave? You are a silly soul. We always do this every time.
That's a polite way of putting it.
I know. What we actually do to start this off is we've got in here 3/4 cup of water, 30 grams of butter, which is just over an ounce, and half a teaspoon of salt, because the one I'm actually doing is a savoury one. And when it comes to the boil, I've actually put here 1.25 cups of plain flour, which you sift onto a piece of paper. Now, this has just come out to the boil now, so all I do is I tip this straight into here, all in one heap like that, and then you stir like crazy until it goes into a ball of paste. And you keep stirring and stirring and stirring. Do this over the heat, because what will actually happen is it goes into quite a stiff ball, and you'll see a little bit of it coats the bottom of the pan, although you can't really see that much, to be honest, when we're using white pans, can you? Never mind. Just do that over the heat like that, and then when I've got it completed, I'm going to add the things that make it rise, but I'm going to do mine in a different way. Peter will tell you what he's doing now with his.
Now, I'm doing the same, on the principle the same as David, except in mine, I've used milk instead of water, and I'm adding sugar instead of salt, because I'm making the savoury one for David, and I don't know why, when I'm not going to use it, but still, never mind. So he's already added 2 eggs, or I have, so I'm adding just the second or the third egg to this, and you have to beat this like mad, because you've got to incorporate this, and you really need muscles for this. But you keep it going until it stops being quite as slimy as this, and it's not going to work. It's gone like paste.
Oh, don't you keep bashing it down?
What do you think I'm doing?
No, you go
bash,
bash, bash.
I am bashing.
Bash.
It's all right.
So you've never done it before. I made the first bit, you see. That's why you can't do it.
I bought mine.
Keep going, Pete.
Oh, it's lovely, this.
Well, bash it towards you.
I'm bashing it towards me.
Shall I give you a hand?
No, get away. I'll get this right if it kills me. Oh, it's going.
That's what I mean. It takes a while.
You're doing yours in the machine, do you mind?
I know, I'm going to cheat.
So you keep stirring this round like this, and you don't have a busybody in your kitchen when you're doing it, so you can get on very well indeed. And you'll come up, as you see, that egg is now incorporating, and if you can see that it's lovely and shiny and as hard as hell.
It's like clag, isn't it? Oh, it goes like clag.
Oh, I'm so hot.
That's why, as I say, it takes a little bit of work to do it that way.
Gosh, I wish I'd eat some of this now. I could get on with the show. Gobstopper.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. While you're still beating that anyway, I'll just do this. Now, what we do with this, I'm going to break one of the eggs. This is by putting that paste that I've just made into a food processor. And I'll break one egg in there first, and then switch it on. Right. Now, just break another in there. You have to incorporate each one each time.
Why couldn't I have had one of those machines?
Because I thought, well, I wrote the thing, so I thought, well, I'll make it easy for myself. And then finally, the last egg goes in there. I'll just leave that for a while. Shift those over there. And then what we're going to do...
Where's your tin?
Eh? Oh. Well, I think you do yours while I get this ready.
All right. Now, what I'm going to do here is put mine out. I'm going to make this nougat, or the beginning of this nougat cream ring. So I'm using here an already slippery plate. I can't think of the name of them. What do you call these?
Non-stick.
Non-stick, that's what I wanted. Thank you. So with a metal spoon, to make this easy, put it out in little thick blobs like this.
Oh, see, yours is beautiful.
That's what comes by doing it by hand, you see. True. And the way you hold your mouth. Just put this on the tray like this in little globs. And what I intend to do, with everybody helping me, is join this up into a lovely circle, which I'm going to bake. But as I say, it really has a very thick consistency. And then what I'm going to do, excuse me, stop drinking, I can't get at that.
I know.
And then wet a spoon, and with the back of a spoon, just very carefully, don't push it down, but just draw all this into a nice circle. That's all I'm doing. An open circle, like a wreath.
Now what I'm
like
going to do with mine
too.
is you take a tin pan, one of the springform pan with a spring on it like that, you know, which has got the loose bottom. Now what you can do, you can butter that lightly and put it into the soggy bottoms.
I had Enos for breakfast.
What we do, what I did normally, you just butter it lightly and put it in the freezer while you're making this, but you must let this mixture go stone cold before you start putting it in, otherwise the butter melts and it all slides down the side. So you get your paste and you dollop this in. I better dollop a bit in because I've got to try and spread it over the sides. Now when you've got this in here, what you've really got to try and do is do this paste over the bottom and up the sides of the tin. Now as this is a little bit thin, it's not going to work that easily, but you'll see the principle I mean, if you can, by getting it up there like that.
At least you can patch these too while you're doing them,
True.
can't you?
And the other thing is, what it actually turns out like is sort of like, it's really like, in a way, a posh Yorkshire pudding, to be honest.
Yeah, without the fat.
Without the fat, that's right. And then that will be the case.
So thin?
Didn't let the water boil before I put the flour in, you see.
Yes.
Now, if, as I say, you were doing this, and this is a bit thin, but it would actually work, when you've done that, if it's a bit sticky, then you do like Peter does, and that is to put a wetted spoon around it to smooth it out. Make sure you bring some of the paste up to the edge like this, so that it actually sticks to the lip, and then it won't fall down inside the pan.
Stick to your lip. Look,
Right.
ignore it for a minute. I've done mine, so that's what I've done. You don't press it down. It doesn't matter how rough that is, but just to so do it with a wet spoon, it helps it. Now this goes in an oven for real. I don't know what that is in there. It's hot. You put that in a preheated oven. You preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, put it in the middle of the oven there, and you cook it for 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, you must time this very carefully because it is really easy to make. You then turn off the oven and you leave the oven door closed for another 10 minutes. Then you just open the door till it's ajar and leave it another 10 minutes, and that's for it all to dry out because you want this lovely crisp outside to the thing. Well, you've been talking all day.
The same thing happens
Cheers.
here. Preheat the oven to 200
I've said
degrees
that.
Celsius, which is 400 degrees Fahrenheit,
didn't
or
say that.
gas mark 6. I know all those ones. And then you leave it in there for 30 minutes and don't
Written on his
open the
stomach.
oven door.
He looks down like that and it's all written there on his
No, it's
stomach.
not. Don't open the oven door, leave it there for 30 minutes. Then after 30 minutes, take it out, be very careful because it'll be hot, and poke a few holes in it to let some of the moisture out of the mixture. Put it back, turn off the heat and leave it for a further 15 to 20 minutes until it's nice and crisp. Then take it out the tin. Hence, that's why we put it in one of those spring-form tins. 'Cause it
Actually, I
makes it
call
easier.
mine sandal pastry because mine is so terribly light. Anyhow, we've got both of our things in the oven. So where's Thelma? Let's
Thelma!
welcome Thelma Barlow.
You here?
Where are you, Thelma?
Thank you for your lovely work. She's lovely. Lovely girl.
Isn't she beautiful? Oh, what's that?
And I brought a present, just something to help
Right,
it
for
along.
me? Is it? Oh,
It's
what's
really
that?
pudding wine, actually. It's one I've made myself.
Oh, really? What of?
From elderflowers.
Oh, how
And
super.
I do all that sort of thing.
What year?
Last year, whatever that was.
Don't be rude, you don't ask.
I'll offer
Thank
you.
you
Would you
very
like
much,
a
Thelma,
spritzer,
for that.
Thelma?
Oh, that would be lovely, thank
Keep
you
your
very
thirst.
much.
Thelma, because
Yes.
you
That should be
cook
very
a great
cold.
deal, don't you? So you
Yes,
make
I
your
do.
own wines, you cook a
Yes.
great deal.
Grow my own vegetables. and
Oh, do
herbs
you?
and everything, yes. Organically.
Which I think is marvellous. Do you do that thing with all the newspaper and everything? Have you done that
Yes,
one?
yes.
Which I believe is
Under
marvellous.
potatoes. No, you don't have to clean them. They just
That's what
grow
I mean
under
to
the-
now where you
Oh,
put,
I
you
love
don't
that.
plant
That's
things. Have you tried, my dear, welcome first,
Thank
apart
you.
from anything.
Thank
Lovely
you
to have
very
you with
much.
us.
Thank
Lovely.
you. It's
You've got the
lovely.
bus here all right. You can find it's hard walking up that laneway, isn't it? You're good, Hill.
I'm going to have a drink.
I've tried this thing now whereas the lady that says don't plant things, actually physically dig them in the ground.
That's
you lay
right,
them on the
yes.
top. And I planted a maple tree and it's been fantastic.
On newspaper.
No, on newspaper, just been sat it on the ground. I'm not talking about the dog, or cats, I'm talking about the maple tree. And it grew, didn't it?
What?
It looked like a stunned
Well,
mother.
it
grew
died.
beautifully. It did not. It's about 30 feet high.
Would you like to wear one of these because you're going
You
to
mean I'm going
help
to help?
us?
Oh, yes, you wouldn't mind.
You can't do
If I
that.
arrive too soon, is that
No, I know, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You know, we're never ready. Actually, I must get out some things if you wouldn't mind.
right.
I'll put this in the
Thank
fridge
you.
so
Do
it's
your
lovely and
dress,
cold.
you know,
That's
do it
smart.
in. Lovely
I never
dress. Love the
think to wear a
lace.
pinny, you see,
Isn't
except
it
when I'm in the
beautiful?
shop. And I always
yes.
wear a pin.
Your sister wears the pinny, doesn't she? Does she often? I think it's a bit more glamorous than your
The lady
sister's.
down at the shop, is she related to
She's
you?
very like me, isn't she?
I was
But
astounded.
she's been busy doing the papers today, so
Oh, well,
let
I can
me come
understand
out
that.
and
Oh,
stay.
good.
Of course, I suppose she did it while you could go
I'll
out
let
to New
you
Zealand
help
for
do that.
holiday,
That's
wasn't
right.
she?
Oh, did I love that? It's beautiful.
Mavis, what we're going to do for the drink...
Oh,
while
not,
it's-
she's not here.
Oh, I see.
Here.
You're so like
Thelma's
her,
here.
Thelma.
See? You get
I
caught
can't help it. You have to be twins. We've got here some water chestnuts. I poached off some chicken with naturally grown herbs, but I just didn't, just to give the chicken just some breasts
Yes.
here. We've got some spring onions and some hard-boiled eggs. We're going to put these to start a salad that's going into one of the choux pastry cases we've already made. So if you wouldn't mind chopping up the remainder
Does
of
this
those.
have a name, this salad? Or?
Yes, salad. In the case.
Or Dallas.
Oh, chicken salad
Could be
today.
Dallas salad,
It could
that's
be
the other way
anything you
round.
like.
Dallas.
So I'm chopping
So just
these.
chop, there's a few there. I've started
How
already.
many?
There's a few there. There you are. I can see them
Oh,
count them. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4.
alright,
See those ones that are not cut up? There they are.
Alright,
There.
alright.
Look, they're cut up.
I thought I had to do them all.
And I'm just going to cut
Few.
these breasts into long strips because I think it's more interesting in dicing this through the salad.
Yes.
But you could use this instead of chicken. You could use fish if you wanted to, poached off fish, or turn it into a totally vegetarian salad.
I love the way
It's-
she's doing it. I usually do
does
it
it
with my
beautifully.
tongue out like that. You know, I go cut. I do that with scissors
Film.
too.
Oh, salad bowl. it
When I do
says.
that, when I do cut anything like bacon rind, you see me and I go,
Could you let us get on? So I've just used about 2 breasts. Just pop them in there, dear.
oh,
And then,
right.
then if you just chop the eggs fairly coarsely.
Yes.
But I'm doing the chicken here in long strips because I said it just makes the salad look a little more interesting.
do you want these in there as well?
What? Yes,
Yeah, we put them
please.
all.
Got anything? How did you get over here?
Well, I know. Well, I've
We
got to get
rid of
on.
you.
Oh, actually, I should go back and get on with my own.
What a good
Just some
idea.
spring onions as well, you want?
Yes.
Yes.
How small do you
That's
want
fine.
Is
No,
that
that's
right?
fine enough. Just roughly and throw that in the centre.
Right.
Right, now here we're going to make just a simple dressing for this. Now we need 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. You can a little more if you want to. And then we also add 1 cup of sour cream, cultured sour cream.
Oh, you've done this before, Mavis, haven't you?
It's not Mavis, it's Thelma.
Look, every time I say that, hit me.
Well, right.
It'll be black and blue by the end of the show.
Well, when you get old,
One
my
teaspoon
memory
of lemon
gets
juice,
a
1
bit
cup of
slack
cultured
now.
sour cream, and you can, if you don't want to use sour cream, you could use a plain yogurt. Right. Then we add to that 2 teaspoons of sugar, and now
That's
it
all
sounds
that's in
funny, I know, sweetening
Yes.
it up with
I'll just
sugar.
do it, I think.
2 teaspoons of sugar, and then 2 teaspoons of curry powder, of which you can use a mild or strong blend, whichever you want yourself, because that really depends on your own taste. But the reason we put the sugar in with it is because curry powder itself, on its own, can be rather sharp, you know. And so what we do is just mix this together, and it
finished
can
it
be
yet?
very bland.
I'll give you the
If you
recipe
do
afterwards.
this, do you mind, you two?
Sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know,
Okay.
you bring them from the street, and what do? Try and take over your show.
Bring us from the street.
Taken off the street.
And if you want
Mavis,
to,
I'll
make
get
this
you
in
a-
advance and leave it, the dressing, for the simple reason it gets that
Thank you,
curry
thank you.
flavour much
still
nicer.
going on.
Now, 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise goes into this just to
Takes a
round
moment
it
to make
off.
simple
Is that
salad.
Just a
homemade
moment.
or not?
Well, this one is bought actually. I didn't have time to do it myself. But I love making mayonnaise because it's so
Yes.
easy. And
Yes.
it's good for you too, because you know what's in it then, don't you?
The only
Right.
reason he makes his own mayonnaise is he can never open the jars I bought.
I'll give that to you
fish
there. If you
jar.
like,
Put
just
this
give it a
over
quick
here.
whip.
Okay.
Now, all
There
you
you
do,
are.
if you just pour that over there, Mavis. So this is the water chestnut, spring onions, the chicken, poached chicken.
Smells lovely too. The curry.
And then I think a lot of people too, spoil salads, they don't make them nice and cold. This would be all right if you were dressing
Thank
this
you,
immediately
madam.
to table, but we're not quite ready. So just gently,
Anything else you want to get rid of,
well,
madam?
all that I think. Thank you very much.
Yes, madam.
just spoon that through like that, and I'm just going to cover that. Get this stuff out, just cover this and put this in so as all the flavours will come up and it'll
Yes,
get nice and
smells
cold.
And is this going in the case?
Yes, eventually. If my case turns out to be the proper one, because I didn't watch him over there. Were you watching?
Oh, it will be all right. No, I've got one already made for you, Pete. That's puffing up beautifully, actually, that one. It'll be lovely and thin.
Oh.
Actually, the thinner, as I said to you earlier, too, if you can get a little bit more egg in your mixture, it makes them rise much better.
I suppose you could flavour the
Like
pastry with
sunrise.
herbs or
Yeah, you could
curry
do
or
actually. You could-
cheese.
Yeah, you could do
or
curry, or you could do a little bit of grated
we've done it.
cheese.
What are we
in
gonna
it.
do
You can
now? We've
sort
got to get
of
on and
anything
do-
like
I've
that,
done
really.
the
That's just the
salad.
plain version. What are you talking about?
Well, I've done my salad.
We're in the middle.
What do you mean I'm in the middle?
We're in the middle. I just want to show them what I'm going to put over what you're doing next.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Right. Now, what I've got here, I've got on here 6 tablespoons of caster sugar and also 4 tablespoons of water. And all we...
I'll give you the Don't sleep when you're speaking.
6 tablespoons of sugar and 4 tablespoons of water, caster sugar. And what we do is we boil it up, and what we're going to make is just a caramel covering for the ring cake that they're going to fill over there, if they ever stop chatting and get it out and ready with the cream to do it. Now, what you do, the reason for doing this with the water is, you know when most people do actually make cake, you listening to this?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
It's like being at school.
Thelma?
I'm frightened, yes.
When you normally make caramel, you only just do the sugar and it melts. But it goes so fast sometimes that you're unable to catch it before it goes burnt, and it gives that awful burnt toffee taste. So that's why we put the water in. And although it takes a little longer to do, you can actually control that turning into caramel. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed that it actually does caramelise for us later on. Right.
Now, we had something in my eye there. I'm not allowed to talk like a prisoner. What I've done here, we've got one of these rings that we've already made. This is the sweet one now for the nougat ring that's come out like that, golden and lovely like this. Now, just very carefully put a knife in here and cut round like that. You see, it's so simple, so quick. Now, I'll give you the bottom bit like that because we've taken the board away. If you just pull out, now what we're going to do now with this, if you've cooked it properly, there should be very little filling, which I'll show you like that. But we want to take out as much of this as we can very carefully because we want to fill this with cream and almonds.
Oh, I
so
see.
If you
All
just
the
pick away,
soft bits.
it's like picking it's hot, it's lovely. Throw it on the floor.
I made that by the cabinet, that's clear.
So just get this round like this. The more
I
you can
always
get
think
out
I've
of
made
this-
a mistake if mine turns out like that.
Oh, this is the right way. Well, how could you get your filling in?
No, I mean because of this soft... Oh, do you mean it?
Yes, throw it on the floor. Look, it's easy. Just do that. Don't slip.
Go on, Thelma. Go on, be a devil. Go on, behind
Throw
you.
it
Go
up
on.
there if you
Anyway,
like.
Go on,
but the
behind
audience-
her. Go on, behind her. Go on,
As long
Thelma.
as-
Be a devil. It'll be the only time you'll ever do it. Go over your shoulder. That's it.
It's a lovely free feeling, isn't it? And then I've got here...
No, but it does happen like that, though. If you do it, obviously there is some in there because it's such a
can't bear
large...
it.
Well, I know, but you can't eat it because it goes all claggy on
No,
your
I mean, I
teeth.
can't bear throwing it on the floor.
Oh, well, don't
Tidy
then.
person.
All right. Oh, she's tidy.
Now, also, while Thelma, if she can get on, David, leave her alone for a minute. She's doing
Yes,
a beautiful
sir.
job
Yes.
there. It's stuck all to my shoe. I wish you could see my shoe. I'm at least a foot taller. I've beaten up here about 3 cups of cream with some vanilla sugar, about a tablespoon of vanilla sugar. Now, a lot of people wonder what vanilla sugar is. And simply, if you get a jar, any sort of jar, and you have caster sugar, I'll show it to you over there so that lady there can see. She's bobbing around the camera. Get a couple of vanilla beans, which are these things like little rat's tails. See those? Beautiful smell.
Oh, so
And put these embed these well down in the sugar like that, seal them off, and the vanilla pod impregnates all the sugar. So when you're making something like this, you've got the real thing without adding the essence. And ignoring him, you also then, too, if you're doing a custard, you put the whole vanilla bean in, and then when you finish with it, you just wash it quite seriously, put it on the windowsill and let it dry out and keep it.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're not.
This is the colour. It's just starting to turn from that clear
yes.
now
You've
to,
got
as
running
you can see,
water
it
and
start to
everything.
caramelise in the pan there. It's just going a slightly golden
Like burns.
brown. So keep your eyes on it now because it will go from there to caramel very, very quickly. So I hope they get the little ring filled.
So, well, if you shut up, we would. Now, adding to this cream, now we've got here 3 tablespoons of slivered almonds, which we've toasted. So these go into the cream. Just fold these through gently, and that's the bottom, isn't it? I'm just going to put these on. Now, you layer this in as hard, whip the cream very stiff, because you want this to come up nice and high. I'll show you why in a minute. You're not on a diet, you're a slimmer, isn't it? Aren't
not
we?
today.
Oh, good.
Oh, it looks wonderful,
Right
doesn't
up
it?
like this. Again,
Yeah,
it really is
that's
quite a
just
quick thing to do. What's happened? Has he dropped dead over there? He's so
No,
quiet.
I'm just getting this to absolute peak perfection.
How can you say it's quick when it's taking you all
Well,
that
it hasn't really. Well, it is relative, you think, because we're going to do all this in 24 minutes.
Can you smell
so
this?
It's quite...
The audience, can you smell this? Let's not burn it, shall we?
That's like
Now, all we do now, very carefully with that mavis, is
Yeah.
put that on, but don't press it down. So as you've got the
Oh, I
difference
see.
there between the pastry and the
Very
cream.
good, that's
So if you'd
like
like to take that over to mouthy.
Are we just ready?
Well, yeah, if you like to put it there. Now, the thing is, you can actually pop that in the fridge for a little while so that it goes slightly chilled before you pour the caramel over. Then the caramel will set very quickly. But the only thing is, don't keep it in the fridge.
Clearing up, I haven't got enough space.
Don't do it in the fridge too long, otherwise that will go. Instead of being crusty, it will go. Right, here it comes. Stand clear, because this is very, very dangerous.
Oh, doesn't that look good? Wonderful.
Oh, I can smell that.
I know, it's great.
Right.
Toffee, isn't it?
That's it.
Slimmer's Delight,
Is that it?
that's called, isn't it?
Oh,
We did it.
forgive us.
A Slimmer's Delight, yeah.
Oh, it's
So that's it. Now, we'll be very careful with that because I poured a little bit too much on it, but still, never mind. It looks lovely, doesn't it? All right.
Yes, but also did you mention it must not now go back in the refrigerator?
No, you
That
must
would
leave it
ruin
out like that.
entirely. Now, this is the case that David made here of the same pastry, but this is the one with the salt, and he made it with water. Looks a bit ugly at the moment. But what I'm going to do here is we've washed and dried some lettuce very well here, because this is if it was wet, it would ruin the case itself. I'm hurrying. Don't you? If you tell me to hurry, I'll hit you one. Not you, mate. Not you, Thelma. Not you, Thelma.
It's nearly pennies off.
Pennies off time.
And then this is just ladle this. As I say, you could use fish in this, you could use potato, all vegetables, whatever. But with the pastry case, just a different way of serving something. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Thank you very much for that. I do try. And just ladle up, but as I say, it's quite a substantial. You could make 2 of these, or individual ones if you wanted to for guests, which would be quite nice.
That'd be enough, wouldn't it?
But this long, I'm hungry.
Does it come out easily from the tin, or is it a bit...
No, it comes out quite easily. May I have that here? Oh, it looks
Could
gorgeous.
you just
Thank
lunch it? I'm
you.
so sorry.
It's like a
Not
crown.
giving entirely.
Now, the other thing,
yes,
as Peter was
proud of that.
saying too, Thelma, is the fact that I said if you do that and added some cherry tomatoes and some cheese, which would be rather nice, and still with the dressing, or you could do, say, a tin of drained salmon would be rather nice too. Yeah, it'd be super. So we're going to take this through now.
Oh, we're off, are we? I was just getting Thelma's wine.
Oh, goody.
To take to table
Right,
as well.
here we go then.
You
go
take
there,
the wine
I'll
because
take
you
this.
brought it. I'll just get off all the pastry.
Okay, off we go.
Find the step. You sit in the middle there, Thelma.
Middle one, isn't it? Put the wine on the table.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Lovely.
Just
Now there you are. I love that sun's job.
Like eating at sea. And as I say, we've only had half a glass.
Actually,
of
the other
wine
thing
each.
is too. What are we drinking with this now? It's a lovely fruity wine,
That's
isn't it?
yes, we thought
Good
it's
sweet
fruity wine,
Scramina.
because this is fairly soft, you know, not a
Yes.
dramatic taste. And of course, you've got your lovely sweet wine to go with your elderberry flower. To go with
Yeah.
to you,
Now-
Phil.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you
been
very much.
Let's try and do this because this is not going to be terribly
Gorgeous,
easy. I'll
actually.
pick a bit that hasn't got too much
I
toffee
hate
on
to
it.
compliment you, but it doesn't look bad,
Right.
actually.
Now look, when you cut it, you have to crack it because it's toffee, supposedly. Right. So just cut through there.
Oh, come on, hurry up.
And cut. Well, it's hard to do. You put so much cream in, and I put so much toffee on. It's all gone soggy in the middle. Anyway, I'll try and get you a piece. Pass your plate. Oh, it's so stuck. It's not easy to do,
That's the
actually.
toffee.
I'm
Never
afraid.
mind, we'll get
There you
some
are.
there.
Oh, lovely.
look at
Oh,
that.
gorgeous.
Oh, and that's mine.
Oh. Right, anyway, thank you
Slim as
very much.
delight,
Thelma,
my dear.
thank you very much. Sorry your sister couldn't come. Thank you all here, and everybody, if you're at home, God bless, and we'll see you soon. Oh, dear. What is so doing? Have a look at it later on. Oh, it's all over the place.